right, Metal Monday on a Monday. It feels good. We got some green. Some green.
That's why we decided to do it. We're like, fuck it, we did Friday. Let's do Monday.
Let's just start picking choosing. We're going to pick the green day of the week.
If it's red, just don't plan to hear from us.
Yeah, well, it might take a week or two.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We'll be here even if it's red. But copper's having a decent
day.
Yeah,
I think it's 5 cents now. At some point, it was 7-8 cents up. So, it's a big week, in the U.S. and in the world. Got election this week. We've got a big week for us. We got some big shit that's going on around here. That's going to kind of get a lot of things changed in motion, started in motion, changing for us for the better. We're fucking full steam ahead Monday morning.
Well, copper looks good. I always use copper, and the other metals kind of follow it, but PGMs are its own animal.
Yeah,
they're different markets. They're much more volatile. Palladium's just getting whacked.
Monkey hammered.
Last week it got whacked.
Yeah.
Platinum again is under 1,000.
Yeah.
Not looking real strong.
Yeah,
rhodium's really been around that
hasn't
4
really
to 5
moved.
grand.
Yeah, it hasn't really moved a lot around that 4,600 number. I think 4,600 or something like that today. It's just until there's something economically strong, I think the PGMs are just going to be what they are. Palladium's going to be pushed and pulled by mostly by the macroeconomic. Was 38 or 35% of the world's palladium comes from Russia. Mm-hmm. So whenever they start talking about sanctions and all that, that's that's sanctions on Russia, then palladium seems to get a little bit of energy and get pushed. And I think it's so many people were shorting palladium that when they were kind of just tossing around the tariffs and sanctions against Russia, that palladium just kind of turned the corner in a sharp way. Mostly just because I think people were got caught short, and so you're starting to see that relief again. That's starting to get palladium's coming back down. Platinum, like you said, back under 1,000. I don't know that changes a lot until we get through this election and we figure out which direction a lot of these things are going to go. But even then, it's just traders trading. I think that copper is very similar. It's really going to depend on what news comes out of China. I think that's really the big driver of copper right now. It's not necessarily U.S. domestic demand or anything like that. It's just what's the news cycle going to be, and where are we going to be at? And if you can count on one thing this month, there's going to be a lot of news, and it's going to be pretty wild times. I think
it could be a wild ride. Especially next couple of weeks, it could be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So sneak peek into bulls versus bears. Just give me the 5-second, 10-second of what Ferris is doing.
It's a tricky market. Okay. Chad breaks it down. It's tricky because
Chad will explain
the export market is tough, but the domestic mills are running decently, but the demand side is murky. So Chad breaks it down really well, as he always does. It's a very dynamic market as well. So
we always look forward to looking at that to get a little more detailed insight on what Ferris is doing. That's such a big driver for everyone.
Yes. So I think it's just such a big part of the volume game in our business, right? There's a lot of non-ferrous, focused individuals out there, but most everybody in the scrap business has a ferrous component, anymore. Unless you're just a wire chopper or something, or just a stainless processor, but even stainless processors have a ferrous component. So
yeah,
it's still very front and center for all of our industry as a whole, like what that export market does, what the domestic steel mill demand is. And we're coming into the holiday season too, so you've got December half the time is like you get work 2 weeks, it feels like. So
yeah,
November feels like the last month of a real big push, if there's going to be any, which, to be honest, I think it's still a demand thing. I think if mills have what they want, and there's still a few out there that maybe are still under maintenance or shutdowns, and it'll be tricky. Listen to Chad. He's smart. Yeah. He's way smarter than us. He'll break it down for you in the Bulls versus Bears coming out today.
yeah, check it out, and we'll be back here next week.
Yeah, non-ferrous will be volatile as always. So we'll see what this month brings, but we're excited.
Thank you, everybody.
Everybody have a great week.